Good evening, and welcome to Riderpiece Theater. Me, Alistair Dayhawk. Tonight, me proud to present a fiery tale of Kamen Rider Geats, episode 26. He has the power! Sorry, guys, if I blew out your ears off, but that is the He-Man reference. And yes, Ace has pulled a He-Man. For those who don't know who He-Man is, just check on YouTube, write He-Man, I have the power. There you go. Because Ace pulled a He-Man. The only difference is Mama Creation came in. Don't worry, my son, I will give you 4 more booster buckles so you can create a new buckle and you will have your ultimate form. You whip some ass, save the festival, the town, the world, and yeah. Which leads to angry Niram, who is now determined to getting rid of Ace after the whole thing with the Mistress of Games is over. Yeah, because remember, he still has the whole final judgment in the back of his mind because he knows the secret that all these sponsors came from the future. Something that no present day human is allowed to know. But yeah, there's neither here or there. So we move to the continuation between Ace and Michinaga. It looked like Amichi's gonna win and surpass Geats, as he always wanted for years. But no, Ace pulls a fast one, he dodges and continues the fight. And then the Jamatos finally created the first turret. It looks like a flower cannon in a way that sprouted from the ground. So I have to say, Poison Ivy would be proud. Yep, Poison Ivy would be proud of just seeing this flower and just shooting out energy blasts. And speaking of energy blasts, as Ace and Michinaga were fighting, Neon and Keiwa were doing their best to, hold the monsters off. But due to the flower turret, those two got blasted. They demorphed. They're seriously injured. And then, the bell rang, and the Mistress of Games has announced that the second half has ended. So everyone went away, and Jean and Ace just looked at each other. It's just, it's like they can't believe it. Like, I mean, the Jamatos are really good. And we go on after the opening credits, the opening titles, and you see Jean and Ace just looking at the town, and 2 turrets has been sprouted. They're not shooting, at least, but they're waiting for the other 3 to sprout. And Niran comes in, and the assistant tells everybody that unfortunately, due to injury, Neon and Keiwa will be out of commission. As you can see from the next scene, you see Tsumuri being, playing nurse, and Chiramyu, or oh god, that disgraced game master, just all panicking and like, dude, you're not helping the situation. And then we get back to Niran, Ace, and Jean. So it looks like Ace is on his own, and Niran feels that it's time for him to step up. But Ace says, no, I can do this all on his own. And Jean was like, are you sure about this? Because not only you have to deal with Michinaga and Toru, but you still have to deal with the other creatures as well. Because the Jamatos, with the drums, they're creating the turrets, so you can't do everything by yourself. Of course, Ace is like, ye a little faith, I can do this. Ace, I don't like you at all, but you know what? Go do you. So Ace has decided to go through this other the third half on his own, and we go back to the hideout where fake Toru and Michinaga have a bonding moment. And then Naiji comes in and just finds it fascinating to see like a half Jamato and a full Jamato just having a friendly bond, like they're friends, and just to see human, or in this case half Jamato, is like bonding, forming friendships, and all that good stuff. It just for him is finds it very fascinating and intriguing. And we move to Jean and Ace. Like Jean knows that Ace by himself, as strong and intelligent that he is, he can't do everything by himself. And he is offered to help Ace out because the mere idea of working aside his hero, it's just, you know, him being the super fan. What do you expect? And he's just so happy, makes my heart burn, that sort of thing. But the thing is, Ace just like, really, like, I appreciate your help, but since when do you care about my world? Since when? Like, you don't care about me, you don't care about us, because you created this whole tournament just for your own amusement. I mean, not too long ago, you were gonna destroy the world, pack your things, and leave. Like, why do you care? And Gene was like, Ace, like you could tell by the look on his face, like he didn't expect that from his hero. But he has a point, though. I mean, all these sponsors, like, do they even care about their writers? Do they even care about this world? I don't think so. Mm-mm. Because they've have done this in multiple worlds, multiple time streams. They up and leave. What happened to them, we don't know. It's just they don't care. Let's be honest here. So he ends up leaving, giving Jean like a slap of reality. He goes to the temple, makes a prayer, talks to the priest. Then Shota comes in, asks like, "What is the tournament? I mean, the tournament is the festival still on?" But unfortunately, the head priest said we can't do it because of the monsters. They keep on wrecking everything. I mean, it's understandable. And poor Shota is like he's crying, like he needs this festival to make a prayer and to wish the whole thing because he wants his mom to get better. He wants her to get out of the hospital. And this is where Ace steps in and say, "Hey, don't worry. We're gonna still continue on with the festival. Don't worry about it. And no one or no man, no monster is gonna ruin the festival." So in the next scene, the DGP comes in and they did the festival. It's pretty small, pretty intimate, and you see Tsumuri and one of the men in black helping out, and you saw all these kids coming in, and and the writers are offering the kids, food and candied apples. So they're having a lot of fun, and no monster so far has interfered. Meanwhile, speaking of monsters, you had the mistress of games preparing for war, and she knows that she has the DGP on the run because Ace is on his lonesome. The other two riders are injured, and once Ace is out of the picture, Niram is easy prey, which I don't think he's easy prey. I believe he's strong enough. I believe that Niram could defeat fake Toru and Michinaga with ease, I think. However, you know, we were led to believe. But so she lets fake Toru and Michinaga go, but before that, we get to see a fist bump between the two before they leave. And then here comes Daichi, feeling all jealous and left out. because, you know, she keeps on relying on those two, more specifically Michinaga. And Azu 2.0 says, okay, well, if you feel left out, I can offer you the Jamato buckle. You can become a Jamato yourself and join in all the fun. But Daichi was like, I will consider it when the time comes. So he doesn't take it right away. But we know that eventually, sooner or later, he will take it. He will take it. So, yeah. So, as the festival continues on, we all hear drums, and you know that the enemy is here. So Ace leaves, and Neon and Keiwa was like, let us come with you, you know. But Ace is like, no, you can't, you're injured. Besides, someone needs to protect the festival in case any monsters comes and interferes. So you guys stay put, stay here, protect the festival for me, and I'll be back. So he ends up leaving. In the next scene, we see Ace, Fate Toru, and Michinaga, and those three meet up, and they have their final showdown. It's a handicap match. Michinaga and Fake Toru versus Ace. And they transform, they have their fight, and already Ace is getting his ass whooped. And at the same time, we see Jamatos hitting the drums, creating a turret after turret after turret until all 5 are in bloom. And at the same time, the festival goers are faced with these 3 or 4 Omis. Obviously, they're in costume. So they're faced with Omis. They're scared except for Shota. He stood his ground and just, you know, wanted to protect everybody from the evil Omis. So after getting his ass kicked by Michinaga and Fate Toru, you see him demorph, and it looks like the end of the world. The town's gonna get destroyed, that sort of thing. And Michinaga asks Ace for his final words, and he said, well, I'm not gonna give up until my wish has been realized, because my burning desire, you know, is not gonna let me go, that sort of thing. And this is where he gets up, he pulls out the booster buckle, and then he takes it up to the sky and he ends up screaming. But he doesn't says, I have the power. He just yells and screams. And then all of a sudden, the goddess of creation just wakes up and just like a light beam just shoots out. And then, you know, out of that beam, whatever, comes, you know, 4 other booster buckles. And then all the while you see the sponsors just looking on in shock, like what the hell just happened. And Niran obviously knows something, and he's just in shock and disbelief, and he ends up leaving. And poor Papa Neon's like, what the hell's going on? Like, tell me, you obviously know something. But no, he ends up leaving, just leaving him just like alone, just watching this whole thing unfold. And then you have Jean, which obviously with Jean is like, oh, I'm more in love with you, Geats, you know, I'm more in love. Oh my god, my heart is racing, you know. And so the 5 booster buckles create a new buckle called Booster Mark II. And Ace uses it, and he becomes Kamen Rider Geats Booster Mark II. Now, I will say this before I move forward. Now that this new buckle is created, is this buckle only for Ace, or can any rider use it? We don't know that yet. But for right now, I believe Ace is the only one who can use it. So we get into this new form. He's the red fox, and he ends up whooping ass on both Fake Toru and Michinaga. He lands a couple of hits on Michinaga, but most of the fight was between Fake Toru and Ace. And then all the while, you see him whipping ass. He transforms into a red fox, continues on the fight, and then he lays his finisher, and and fake Toru is still alive at the edge of a building, right? And he asks for Michinaga's help. And here's the part where, you know, I thought he was gonna help him, but no. Michinaga just doesn't help him at all. He just tells fake Toru that I used you. I thought that you could help me defeat Geats, but it's not the case anymore. He was about to leave, and fake Toru was like, "Aren't we best friends?" He turns around and just says, "Look, my best friend died a long time ago. You're just a monster." And he turns around and walks away, and you see him get dissolved and destroyed. And with his death, all the 5 turns are gone, and the festival has concluded with no interruptions. Shota gets one of the Omi's bells, and then we get to see, Shota's parents. The mom is out of the hospital. They get a huge hug while the others just look on, just all happy and in tears. And we landed to the final act. So even though it's all happily ever after, no, it's not the case here, because you see Niram with 4 wishes. All came from Ace. And as you can see here, it says 4 different wishes. I think it says 4 different wishes of past tournaments have been granted simultaneously. And you could see all the 4 here. And here's the interesting part on the top. A reincarnation of mine will steal his resolve to protect the world someday. Grant him the power to realize it. And you see all the names next to it. Ace Garfield, Yakumo Isu, and Ace Lee. What does that mean? I wonder. And he finishes off with, "You're a man who is not meant to exist." And the show ends. Now, here's my theory. My first theory about the mom being the goddess of creation, it's slowly turning into truth. Because how would he yell and scream with the booster buckle in hand, and then all of a sudden the goddess of creation reacts to his scream? Something tells me that it's leading towards that Ace's mom could be the goddess of creation. Makes sense. Now, this new theory involving Ace, do you think it's like, my first theory was he could be a demigod? Because, hey, if you come from a god or a goddess and the other person is immortal, you get a demigod, you get a half god. It makes perfect sense. But then, now this scene comes in, a reincarnation of mine. Do you think it's possible that Ace is the Kamen Rider version of Avatar, The Last Airbender / Legend of Korra? And for those who don't know the Avatar, it's pretty much a being who can wield all 4 elements, and he or she has special powers. The thing is, too, as an added bonus, when the Avatar dies, the spirit gets reincarnated into a new body and gets the memories of his past lives. So do you think that Ace is a version of the Avatar? Hence, the first wish, a reincarnation of mine will steal his resolve to protect the world someday. That's just a theory. I believe that Ace's spirit, at least the first Ace, is, a spirit. Like, he's already immortal. Like, what happens if Ace dies and gets reincarnated and remembers everything what just happened? Like, it makes perfect sense too, because it explains how he knows so much about the tournament. It makes perfect sense too. But then again, my theory of him being a demigod isn't too far off. It's just his spirit gets reincarnated and that sort of thing. But yeah, so what do you think? Do you think Ace is the Kamen Rider version of the Avatar? Do you still think that he may be a demigod? Also, do you think that Ace's mom is definitely the goddess of creation? Those are my questions for you guys. Anyways, what do you guys think about this episode? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? If not, what would you do to change it up? Also, before I go, I feel that Yuya missed a perfect opportunity in terms of, Jamato Toru, because I feel that they killed him off way too soon. I feel like I wished Michinaga would have gone further with building a relationship with this monster, to the point where Ace destroys it, and all of a sudden Michinaga is all in a rage seeing his best friend getting destroyed a second time, which accelerates the Jamato transformation into a full-grown Jamato, and then you get a almost like a Hell in the Cell match, if you will, between him and Ace. Like, you think that he doesn't like Ace now? Just the mere idea of seeing, fake Toru getting destroyed in front of him after forming a bond and everything just ignited that hate feud. But it isn't the case. Yuya decided that, yeah, we're gonna have Michinaga say, like, yeah, you may have Toru's memories, his gestures. Like, you may be Toru, but you're not Toru. You're just a clone. You're just a fake. And my best friend died a long time ago. But yeah, I believe that Yuya missed his mark, but that's just me. Other than that, thank you so much for listening. And also, if I missed anything, please write in the comments below, and just write about the theories that I gave you guys. Did you like my theories, or you have another theory altogether? Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for listening. And I'll see. And also, before that, please give a like if you liked this video, and subscribe if you didn't like it. Well, thank you so much regardless, and I will see you all on the other side of oblivion. Johnny!